I do remember you, yes indeed. How are you tonight? I hope you're having a good night, a good day. I hope you had a good day. I'm back for a customary stream that I've been doing lately, and I love them. I look forward to them every time. Hello, Dark Angelus. Hello, PW. Peter Wayne. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for your kind words and your kind thoughts. I really appreciate it. That's what my mission is all about on this channel. I'm a one-man mission. I'm a man on a mission sitting in his kitchen with a singular ambition, and that you could consider a pretty awesome position. No, I can't take it, I can't take anymore. I see you clearly now, like never before. The rain keeps falling down. I hear you clearly now, it's a beautiful sound. And all this time I've been waiting here for you. But I know you've been waiting too. We saw each other across the great divide. Our love as strong as the river is wide. Our love as strong as the river is wide. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. You can't believe your eyes, you saw the future. It was only a disguise. And all across the human race, your lives take shape in outer space. And all this time I've been waiting here for you. But I know you've been waiting too. We saw each other across the great divide. Our love as strong as the river is wide. Our love as strong as the river is wide. Our love is strong and I can't take anymore. The rain keeps falling down. I hear you clearly now, it's a beautiful sound. And all this time I've been waiting here for you. But I know you've been waiting too. saw each other across the great divide. Our love as strong as the river is wide. Our love as strong as the river is wide. Enchanted the Fox, hello. Collins, thank you. Dark Angelus, amazing name. Thank you all for joining me, the Peter Wayne Burton Music Hour. The one, the only, Wayne Burton. I like it. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. I'm a man on a mission. I have a channel that is growing, and I'm so excited about it. So excited, in fact, that it reminds me of somewhat of a manic phase it feels my life gets into at times. About 3 years ago, I decided to leave the working world and start working on an album. And I got so down the rabbit hole on the album, recording it at home, that it became an addiction. A serious one that was like consuming my mind, and it made it very difficult to be around other human beings, to the point that I started to resent not being able to record. And it was not a good state of mind to be in. It was sort of a volatile state that I was trying to pretend I could keep in check, but I felt like I was spinning out of control all the time. And live performance, I think, is different than recording at home. Live performance has a different feeling, a different aura, a different energy to it. So it's sort of like, take something that was killing you in the recording studio when I was working on songs, in solitude, not showing anybody, just they were exploding in my mind while I'd have to punch into my day job or kick into father mode, you know. I didn't handle the stress very well. I still don't. But live performance is different. If I could take that manic, ultra-concentrated energy when I was working on the album and put it into a live performance, it means a lot more because I am sharing it. It means a lot more because the experience is not kept to myself. It means a lot more because every experience I want to be a unique one. And that is my goal as a musician. There's my keyboard behind me and my live setup. I had a gig under a tent at a reunion at a school of about 300 people. It was wonderful. But it's small potatoes, small beans. I don't have the ripple effect that I am so desperately wanting to create, which inevitably allows me to think, well, maybe I don't have the power after all these years to create the ripples that I need to create. And to live with that thought in your head on a daily basis, I find quite debilitating for me, which I think makes it so it's hard for me to make plans to do anything other than be able to do music. I still have that tendency. And I battle feelings of selfishness and stubbornness because I enjoy something so much. But I understand that's irrational thinking. Yeah, you're right. A low number of watchers, but in a lot of ways it feels like a high number because I look at the numbers afterwards and it has something like 300 to 400 views. And I don't know, maybe one of those views is somebody that really loved what I was doing and felt connected and felt like the energy I was trying to emit. And I never know if it's translating well enough, and I understand that I have a number on a screen that can go down to 0 at any point. And whenever it hits 0, it is like a gut punch, but at the same time, I must hide it. If I need to channel it, fine. That's the way I don't hide it. But the low number can change, and I've seen it happen. And I've seen it happen a lot, where someone starts from nowhere and suddenly, once they gain momentum, 1,000 turns into 2,000, turns into 4,000, turns into 8,000. And if I ever had myself an audience of thousands of people in my kitchen, you can guarantee that I would make changes elsewhere in my day. I really do want to be an analog, non-AI representative of my particular take on this time in history, being possessed by the phone and the internet. I am a zombie, just like many of you out there, but at the same time, there's so much going on the inside, but sometimes we don't know what to do with it. So this is the forewarning that I tend to turn comments into songs on the spot, because I kind of want to prove to you that this is entirely live. I can start Tarkin, sir. So the idea is, I cannot play, I don't know what Tarkin is. Hello from my kitchen, I'm a man on a mission. Yes, Melinda, I remember you. I remember you. Elvis, Elvis, is that a serious question? A little less. Am I doing something wrong? Maybe I don't know what I'm doing, and I accidentally ruin the song. Ooh. And I know I've made so many mistakes. Time moves on, I know I'll make so many more, including hitting wrong chords. But on guitar, if you make a mistake, you can hide it by repeating it. I know I've got so much time to give for the rest of my days. Yes, I truly want to live without fear or sadness, helping me fall into darkness over and over again. To you I send a message. I will write word and you will use this in the song. Yes, that's correct. But I ask one thing. Forgive me if I screw it up, or start laughing, or start talking. I don't want to ruin the vibe, but I will go back to the song. I beg to differ. You are not stupid. Same saying. I mean, after all, you're watching me, so I think you recognize the connection. Enchanted is a guy. Ha 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 ha. Enchanted is a guy. Ha 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 ha. I try to make it up as I go. Sometimes I am successful. Right? I mean, the point of this operation that I have going on here, which is about as basic as you can get, and I realize that, my video and my sound should be much better. Oh, I'm not laughing at you at all. All I'm doing is reading the words on the screen. You see, sometimes I react to the words, and sometimes I sing the words verbatim. Sort of like, it sounds like you're laughing at me for being a guy. You know can Banami. No, I don't know that individual, sir. I'm in Vermont. I'm in Vermont. But I wouldn't mind getting out. I wouldn't mind going on tour. And I would encourage people to use their cameras the entire time. I like taking up digital space on the internet. Potatoes come from fishes. Everybody knows potatoes come from fishes. I know that I love singing your words out loud. I ran out of gas, I had a flat tire, I didn't have enough money for cab fare. My tux didn't come back from the cleaners. An old friend came in from out of town, and someone stole my car. I don't like dishes. They make my hands all pruny. There was an earthquake, a terrible flood, locusts, and blood from every direction. I make no corrections. I made my bed, now I must lie in it. I must sing in it. I must live in it. I will die in it. There was an earthquake, a terrible flood. There were locusts, and I see. Welcome from Turkey. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's a pleasure to be playing for you while I am thousands of miles away. But I want music to make the world feel very small to me. I want to believe that every human is an antenna that emits and receives signals. Some of those signals are perceptible, some of them are unconscious. And I would like to think that music, thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that you like my music. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that. Respect to you in return, okay? If you ever struggle with thoughts about yourself, believe me, you're not alone. And if we can learn to respect ourselves, then the light we will get to have shone. Because what we leave behind is as important as what we are looking forward to. And I love reading words on the screen because it makes me feel like all the heavy lifting is taken care of. There was an earthquake. There was a flood. One Timex digital watch broken. One unused prophylactic. I've died and gone to heaven. Heaven and broken don't rhyme, but that's okay. You can get away with it as long as you make the sentence as strong as possible. Make sure what you're saying is precisely what you want to be saying. Make sure your signals are loud and clear. Can you see it in my eyes? There are oceans of regret. Memories haunt me, but I think it's time to forget. The stars never align. And all I'm saying is all I'm seeing are signs I don't want to believe. A heart without blood is awaiting a flood, knowing your ships will be lost at sea. Paying no mind, it's all lost in time. Your eyes never open, it's true. But I'm here to say you've just lost your way. But don't worry, I'm as lost as you. Don't worry, I'm as lost as you. The path you walked was never my own. You gave me shelter, but never a home. I can see it in your eyes, an ocean of regret. Memories haunt you. I think it's time to forget. The stars never align. And all I'm saying is all I'm seeing are signs I don't want to believe. A heart without blood is awaiting a flood, knowing your ships will be lost at sea. Pay it no mind, it's all lost in time. Your eyes never opened, it's true. But I'm here to say you've just lost your way. But don't worry, I'm as lost as you. Don't worry, I'm as lost as you. I'm as lost as you. Bring in the symphony. Bring in the violins. I want to hear cello and French horn. A flute with no holes is not a flute. A Danish, a donut without a hole is a Danish. I screwed that up. Oh. A flute with no holes is not a flute. A donut with no holes is a Danish. Everyone knows it's a Danish. That's all part of the equation. An unsolved equation. There's a duality to everything. And my mind exists between two of the parallels, almost like being between dimensions. Between dimensions, that's where I am. That was never my intention. What a crazy invention. Did I forget to mention I like to rhyme? I hope there's no dissension. All I know is I've come this far and I don't want to backslide anymore. I need subscribers to join my channel pretty quick because I'm sinking here. I need your help in believing in myself. I don't know who I believe more. This is a cross of bluegrass, Kentucky bluegrass, featherbed bent, and Northern California sesame. Northern Samia. I don't know what kind of music I am. Those all make sense? Cool. I want those to be a part of me, but I hope to attempt to assemble some type of hybrid energy that I combine with various influences, but also maybe things that I have developed on my own in the dark of my own mind while practicing away from the camera, as many hours as I have. If I could add up all the times I played piano alone in the dark in a practice room, it would be in the hundreds of hours. So I'm an individual that has practiced for so long that to witness someone like myself plead to the world to send subscribers my way and likes to the video, because ultimately I want this to be my application for my next job opportunity. And that job opportunity is interviewing in real time. IRL. In real life. I am slow to adopt abbreviating things. I'm a slow in a lot of categories. But I do attempt to readily admit my faults as quickly as possible. But I also attempt to point out some things that I think are worth noticing. And that is that I have live streamed 4 to 6 to 7 nights a week for the past several months. And all of it was original. All of it was my own stuff. And all of it, I don't remember what I did. And that's part of the beauty, but also part of a promise to you that I love doing it so much, I'm willing to withstand the sadness that like so much comes through me and then is gone. I can remember certain parts of it. And in many ways, if I ever looked back at this live stream, I would most definitely cringe at myself. The longest, deepest cringe you could imagine. Yes. But while I'm in the moment, I feel it is necessary to say, you know what? Let's not think about anything else but exactly what's happening right now. It's a difficult thing to do, and I'm not good at it. I am like a 67% functioning human being. And I'd like to get to 92%. That is my goal. So on my live streams, I never know if I am playing too much or too little, speaking too much or too little, if I'm repeating the same thing too much or too infrequent. Please comment, subscribe, like the video, and I will keep going with the music until my fingers fall off. I have bad guitar technique, but I'm just going to play whatever comes into my mind, whatever I feel like saying. I read comments, I turn the comments into either a response or I sing the comments precisely as they are. That is my goal, that is my mission. That has been so much fun recently that I cannot even put into words how fun it is. And I believe I just passed the 500 subscriber mark. And for me, that's a benchmark, and that is a sign that what I am doing is worth blocking out all of the stress of things that I know I am screwing up and not very good at. There's a lot of things that I'm not very good at. I think that I would consider myself to be someone who struggles through their day mentally. But I am attempting to at least channel all of that storm energy into like a calm, breezy day on the beach with shade and food and friends. Thank you, Dr. Who, What, Where. I appreciate that. Thank you, Paul Davis. I will oblige. It's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you've got the stock market beat. But the man worthwhile is the man who can smile when his shorts are too tight in his seat. I'll probably get a copyright strike, but that's okay. You may never get to watch this video again. This may be the only time this happens, and personally I think it's kind of an honor to spend time with you while sitting in my kitchen. I'm a man on a mission. I've got ambition, but I consider it a mental condition. And I know it's odd to sing the comment section, but part of me envisions a day when there are too many comments flying by, so I will have to do it a different way. People will send me their poems with the expressed understanding that I'm going to sing them. And whatever happens, I will give you the credit. Give you the credit. So if I happen to turn it into a song, that people want to sing in large groups, I will consider my mission to be very much accomplished. Because I get to sit here with you, I know it's time well spent. Because I'm sitting here right now with you, is time well spent. Hey-oh! That's from Caddyshack, right? Or at least that's said in Caddyshack. I don't know if it's written specifically for the movie. Yeah, it's probably not. Forgive my lack of knowledge. Ever feel like you got a damn hair in your mouth? Sometimes that happens to me, sometimes it doesn't. So, Dr. Know What Where do we go from here? Even though on my screen there is a 0, the number 0, I have to not equate my head with the 0 number that I see. I have to not think of my head as empty. I have to think of my head as full of possibilities, things that I want to do. I will state it for the record over and over again at the risk of being entirely too repetitive. That I'm a man on a mission sitting in my kitchen. I've got a condition and a lot of ambition. But I need your help to get this particular ship off the ground. And I want to assure you that I want to land this puppy on a stage. You're right, Rome was not built overnight. It took a long time to build Rome. And when it was finished, the people there may have watched it slowly come together. So they may not have seen the brilliance of it because they had gotten used to tripping over like large blocks and seeing like construction being done. It might have been slow and hot and dusty and disruptive. So over months and months and months, the walls went up, the years went by, and I bet it grips. Interesting. I think that there's power in repetition. There is power in a singular pursuit of one's passions. And I have to convince myself I am one that possesses that power. And I don't do it very well. And I honestly lose my ambitions quite frequently in my dream because I have convinced myself to stop running after the emergency vehicle. Like, let's say the emergency vehicle, which is a career, is driving in front of me and I can't keep up. At what point do I acknowledge that it's going to be out over the horizon? Do I stop running and then the dream stops? These are visual metaphors I like to run through my mind. They sound extremely dramatic, and they are. They're meant to be dramatic. They're meant to be hopefully cut and dry, black and white. This is a crazy journey that I am on, and I love it so much, but I am also wondering how many carpenters it took to build Rome, and it was hundreds of years, if I remember correctly. You're right. We all have self-doubts, but what else you gonna do? Yes, I mean, do I have any regrets about live streaming so much in the past, let's just say 4 to 6 months? And honestly, no, I can say that the experience has been transformative because I spent so many of my years convinced that I had to record my best song to capture people's attention and therefore create the feedback loop of momentum that if I make the song good enough, people will seek me out and then I will feel like, well, you haven't seen anything yet. So I put so much effort onto the recording that I think I burned out on it and I convinced myself it sucks. So, twirl the hair. I was just trying to go behind the ear. I'm not good at having long hair. I'm wearing it down tonight even though I don't really like to. It's kind of inconvenient because sometimes it gets in my mouth. So, the idea, what a strange thing to be directed around. You're right, excelsior, onward and upward. To find something that I like to do so much like this, live, and as close to in person as I could get. You know that if I had a teleporter, I would beam to a venue near you or a street corner, and you would come out and I would play music for you and your neighbors. You know that's the truth. I am somebody that advertises the truth. I am an analog organism with a finite amount of time on this earth, and it is important that I at least put on the record what my ambitions are, and God forbid, what never actually came to fruition. Oh no, I am? You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yes? I'm always afraid that I am broadcasting and I am silent. Can you hear me out there? Oh, okay. So it's still, thank you. Sweet. I'm sorry. I know this is unprofessional as hell. I get easily distracted sometimes. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Maybe it's the algorithm working so hard to spread the stream that it burned itself out. Just kidding. I know that's not how it happened. Potato, I love me a potato almost as much as I love you. Hello, Sir SRT Johnny, the sweetest potato. And I want to turn your words into a song made up on the spot. 6, 7 times. What is the deal with that word? I can sing a song about that number, but I will never sing it again, at least in the same way. So I will sing a song, just remind me, okay? Potato come from fish, fish come from Sweden, and fish from Sweden are gummy fish. So I'm a gummy bear, a gummy, yummy, yummy, gummy bear, a yummy bear, a gummy bear, a yummy, yummy, yummy gummy bear. A bear, a yummy, gummy, gummy, yummy, gummy, yummy, gummy bear. There was a number I was dreaming of the other night. I don't know why, maybe it's because everybody's saying it all the time. And this song is about that number, about how I have no idea why it suddenly took off like a social contagion, spread to the corners of the spherical earth. Six, seven, I'll see you in heaven when I stop hearing 6, 7. 6, 7, it's the opposite of heaven. Yes, I don't know why you have to repeat it all the time. Potato come from fish, fish come from Sweden, and fish come from Sweden are gummy fish. So I'm a gummy bear, a gummy, yummy gummy bear. I'm a gummy bear, a gummy, yummy, yummy gummy bear. 6, 7 is the opposite of heaven. In circles I dive, I am not a hero. I feel more like a 0. Zero to offer, 0 to say, 0 to sing another day. I will try to keep the number above 0. Hello and welcome to the Wayne Burton music stream. I'm not fancy, I'm not professional, I'm not polished. I have mediocre lighting, mediocre sound, mediocre video. But I would like to assure you that if given the proper opportunity to construct a budget, a healthy budget, I would invest in the things that would bring my live stream into a whole new era. I would turn my live stream into precisely what I want to be doing at all times, and I will not think about how I need to tour the world, let alone the country, let alone my state, let alone my town. Let's just say that I am obsessed with the idea of turning this particular performance into a professional offering of employment, where I have an hourly wage, and that at some point you would consider donating to my cause. And simply subscribing is a form of doing just that. If I can get to 1,000 subscribers, maybe I can get to 2,000, then 4 and 8 and 16 and so on. Maybe that's a possibility. I don't know. I could be doing this for 10 years, and that situation could never happen. I have no way of knowing, and that's why I'm a little bit crazy, but in a good way. A way that I try to make peace with, yet I fail miserably quite often. And by failure, I don't mean permanent failure. I mean failure, the kind of failure you learn a lot from because you know what to avoid. And maybe that's what a big chunk of life is knowing what to avoid, but also not knowing if you're avoiding it for the right reasons. I've lived long enough to learn a lot of important things. And I've lived long enough to know that I have an absolute mountain of things to learn ahead of me. So I think of this live stream as a way to create something in the moment, in real time, making mistakes, saying stupid things, singing words on the screen, making bad songs, making good songs, making funny songs, making dark songs, making groovy, jammy songs, making catchy songs, and thinking of myself as like a bottomless well, almost like I've been saving up a reservoir of stuff. Almost like inside my mind has been a huge dam holding back a huge body of energy, creative energy. And imagine if I just allowed one spigot to open on that dam and it was, and I just thought of that as like, oh, it feels so good to let go of these ideas, get them down, get them out, get them on camera, get them for the internet, get them for your live stream. Make them, I get it, mediocrity and mediocre is an ugly word, and I do try to avoid it. But at the same time, I wonder if I am too blind to the fact that I am being mediocre. I mean, look at me. What am I doing? I don't look very snazzy. I have a green short sleeve shirt on that fits. That means at one point I was capable of going to a store. I have a guitar that I love that I picked out that I found like, I think about, I want to say 8 years ago. What up, Dean Goldberry? Thank you for coming back. You are amazing, as are you, Eli D4326. The Enchanted the Fox. I like that. That sounds like I want it to be Ginger the Ale as like a alter ego. Like my Ginger the Ale group was my rock outfit that I would go on tour with for 6 weeks. And I would do tours, miniature tours in cool places. So it would be like 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. It would be an incredible way to think of it simply as first. Nothing complicated as far as venue, not a bunch of trucks. Think of it as like a lot of the equipment is rented at the actual city that we are in. And I do say we, and I don't know who we is necessarily, honestly. If you look at me and think that I have a wide-reaching net of friends, I have people that I absolutely cherish in my life. But I am sort of a hermit in a lot of ways. I mean, I guess a hermit with a purpose and a mission, but a hermit that sometimes does not know what to do with himself if he is not playing music or doing something to get himself into the next stage of his employment career. So I've had a really good run recently of subscribers and views, and it feels like it's the kind of thing that can spread like wildfire eventually. The question is, do I do it the rest of my life? And if it never happens, how will I feel? Yes. You're right. I appreciate that, Eli, if I'm saying that correctly. Or Elid. Value more what you do. I can't play guitar, and that's okay. Be yourself. You're right. Guitar is something that has been, I could argue, an imaginary friend, but as real as any imaginary friend could possibly be, because I can feel it, and I can hear it, and I can see it in my mind. So it feels like a piano is sort of like, if the instrument itself isn't my imaginary friend, what is created by the synergy of me and the instrument together is the sort of life force that I am fascinated by. And that life force is infused by many years of wondering why the hell my self-critic is so loud, and concurrently why the self-doubt is so powerful. It's incredible. And I'm not saying it's at that level anymore. I'm not saying it's gone. I don't think there's a possibility that it'll ever be gone. But I would love the idea of it trending downwards. And I think that's what live streaming has become. I have seen enough of the internet to know it is important to stay engaged. And to have people listen to what you are saying is what you ultimately are seeking. So in my case, I want to make sure that everything that I say and everything that I play is for the record, and I'm okay with that fact. Even if in the future I look at myself and I'm embarrassed for being I don't know, unpolished, slow, uninteresting, unable to like edit interesting videos together. I see the internet and I see people mastering video, and they are slicing out pauses in sentences and having close-ups of faces and intense music. And I find myself mesmerized by it. And then I realize, holy cow, am I being a cow out to pasture, you know? Your ogre fingers. I gotta sing that one. My ogre fingers are too big to play guitar or even piano. I bet you could hold drumsticks and learn to hit things, preferably inanimate things, preferably inorganic things. You could hit things, I'm sure. After all, consider the fact you have a heart beating in your chest. If you listen to it, you will find it resembles a metronome. For my day job, I work in the medical world, and within 2 minutes of meeting a stranger, I am listening to their heartbeat because I am taking their blood pressure. And I hear the thud, thud, thud of their heart, heart, heart. If you listen to your heart, just count to 4 over and over again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're ready, this is called just double time. It's a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jack, 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 jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's my music lesson for the day. Sometimes I don't know if I throw them in at the least opportune times or the most opportune times. But instruments and music, being told you can't do something is part of the programming that I think it would be wise to undo at least 10% or 20%. Because it's not what you can't do, it's because of what you can. Just because maybe violin isn't in your future, or piano, or the guitar, doesn't mean that you can't hit things with your hands if you can move them. And for me, all music, all seeds of playing an instrument, for me, should turn into a giant plant where it suddenly inspires you. Because if you can speak, you can sing. And if you can sing, you can learn to hold a note. And if you can learn to hold a note, all you need to do is tap while holding that note. And it requires thinking about what you're singing and what you're hitting. And eventually, if you do it enough, your body will do it for you, and your mind can just wander and go get an ice cream and go down to the park and maybe wade into the water. And, you know, that's what the goal of music is. The goal of music for what the listener is to go on a journey, in my opinion. And that journey can be to memories, it can be to the future, it can be to the possibilities of now. But imagine what it's like to write and play the music. Ice cream and water. I did, didn't I? Interesting. Well, I like the idea of, so if you can tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Allie's Dancy. I'm gonna have ice cream right after this performance. Yes, singing in a choir this fall, winter. Yes, the Dean Goldberry. That is amazing. Nice. I'm gonna have ice cream. I'm gonna have ice cream after the live stream. My voice usually gets kind of raw, and the ice cream is sort of like a nice cooling sensation. And I describe that to you because generally I experience it alone. I can't pass you an ice cream through. It's not how the phone works. But imagine if I could. If I could just hold up an ice cream and you just could pull it back. Man, do you understand? Maybe that's the future. Maybe I can do that with a 3D printed something or other. On the other end is a 3D printer and I can send you images I'm working on. Or it's a 3D painter project in real time where I can paint a picture in your house with brushes. Exactly. There's many different ways that this could grow, what I am doing here. There are many different ways in which it would make complete sense as to why I sat in my kitchen for hundreds of hours asking the world for a favor. Because lately the darkness has a very nefarious technique of getting my brain to turn on itself. It tells me that the universe has sent me all the miracles I need and I'm on my own from now on. That is a very powerful voice from the darkness trying to convince the light side of my brain. Oh, I think there's a storm out right now. Nice. I like it. My car is buttoned up. I'm inside my dry, wonderful apartment. I'm not grateful enough for anything that I have. But I try in real time to say that I love my life. I love it. No matter what the darkness says, which will always be a part of me, I just want to grab the darkness by the neck and be like, what are you doing, darkness? Cut it out. And it says, okay, sorry. So me and my darkness, we start to have, or my darkness and I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not grammatically very knowledgeable. Grammatically is not a word, but I feel like it should be. Just like irregardless is actually a word, apparently. Just like octopuses and hippopotamuses are real words because it is commonly thought that octopi or hippopotami are the plurals. But you can say both. I watched a whole video on it. And if they were lying, holy cow, they did a really good job at it. You know what I mean? Billie Jean. So, while it's raining out, and I think there's some thunder and lightning going on, I'm going to try to create some lightning of my own, okay? Please consider subscribing. I will be broadcasting again tomorrow night, probably Wednesday and Thursday, probably Friday. Holy cow, I'm addicted to this mission. I'm not going to stop. I am not going to stop, but I should stretch my legs. Yo! Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. Hopefully you'll get some rain soon. Hope. Hopefully you get rain in the heavens to open the skies on Oregon. Water is essential, we should be harvesting it as much as possible. Why don't we capture the rain in barrels at least? And many people do that. Once the rain comes, most will complain. I would rather live in a damp, wet place than a dry, close to dead one. I value what I do, I enjoy it, I really do! Exclamation point. Oh boy, I'm so grateful. Dance, dance, oh rain don't stop. I value what I do, I really enjoy it, I really do! Exclamation point. Oh boy, I'm so grateful. Dance, dance, rain don't stop. Dance, dance, rain don't stop. Now that you know, I will turn your words into a song. It holds so much more weight, knowing it's kind of permanent. And if you are afraid of your words being permanent, imagine sitting in front of the world for hours a day. Blessings to you, Eli. Hi, Ali. Ali's dancing. Dance, dance, rain don't stop. Oh, dance. The rain don't stop. I'm feeling dancy. I'm feeling fancy. I am asking for the electricity to go out, but I'm still broadcasting in the dark. Depending on the severity of the storm outside, a tree could fall on the power lines, and the lights could go off, but I think I would keep broadcasting. I think it would broadcast from a cellular signal, but maybe I would suddenly stop. What if it was a completely insane idea that on Wednesday of this week, as in 2 days from now, at 10:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, gravity will go out for 7 seconds? That is right. I heard of this information about a year ago, but I know it's just an internet conspiracy. But I still entertain the idea of it being a possibility. Imagine if it's true, and you only have so long to live. But then the day comes and it doesn't happen. Do you feel silly for trying to warn everyone? When the day comes and it doesn't happen, there is no end of the world. No one will ever believe you again. So you better be right. But if you're right, who will you gloat to? If everyone's dead, you better be right about the end of the world being on Wednesday. Have a great sleep. The boy who cried apocalypse, that's what I could become. It brings me no joy to know that I could be right, and all you did was waste another day doing nothing interesting. I mean, ask yourself the question, if the world was going to end at 10:33 a.m. on Wednesday of this week, Eastern Standard Time, you probably won't die right away. You may suffer for a minute or a day or a week, or you might survive, but you will most certainly experience the most difficult existence that you never imagined you'd face, and that there was no one to help you guard against the other people who become so desperate they could look at you as survival roadblocks. So I might be the boy who cried apocalypse, but there is still time for me to be right. The problem is, if I'm right, who do I gloat to? But am I prepared to live as a man who was 100% sure gravity would lift for 7 seconds and he would witness the world die before his very eyes? The world is food now. That is, if you survive, and you probably won't. If we all get to heaven at the same time, I imagine it would be strange running into other people's souls. And I want to offer a twist on the idea. Have I ever met the DMT elves? No, I have not, but I do believe they exist, based upon what I have heard from people who have visited their realm multiple times. So, that's the idea. The world is going to end at 10:33 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Obviously, it's not true. Obviously, it's garbage. Obviously, it was made up. Obviously, it's just another one of the patterns the internet has of rising and falling of truths and disbeliefs, shocking events, and complete duds. Our minds are swimming through an absolute river of chaos. Not everybody. A lot of us, I would say. So the twist on the idea that I read this internet conspiracy theory about gravity shifting at 10:33 a.m. is, what if gravity started shifting right now on the live stream? I suddenly felt kind of light, and everything just sort of lifted all at once, and I wouldn't get to describe it in real time. I would be in shock. And if everyone experienced it at the same time, this might be the last thing the world sees, or several people see. And I know it's not going to happen, and I understand that something like that is ridiculous. There you go. Yeah, there will be no more dental appointments ever. or at least not for an extremely long time, because the amount of destruction would be virtually life-ending, if not instantaneously within a short period of time. And I don't dwell on this to be dark or morbid at all, I assure you. I don't actually believe this. Yeah, there you go. I agree. I aged out of caring too a little bit. Yes, I do, SRT Johnny, I remember you. The theory is that too, this is the very basic version of what I read. You could argue a lot of scientific mumbo jumbo that makes no sense in order to try to get people to believe something ludicrous. The basic theory is that two very, very distant black holes collided a long time ago, and it sent out a wave of charged anti-gravity, a charged anti-gravity sphere that's been passing through planets for millions of years. And as it passed through planets, some of planets are not very formed, so as the gravity went through and returned, the planet you couldn't really tell much changed. But if there's anything intricate built on a planet's surface, such as Earth, the gravity wave that comes through would lift everything up, including water and buildings and dust and cars and people, and everything would float up into the air, and then at some point it would all come back down pretty hard. And the idea is that the sloshing effect would create massive continent-consuming tsunamis. Entire cities wiped out to the ground for hundreds of miles. That's within the first few minutes. So the theory is that as it passes through the Earth, it causes this massive ripple of destruction, and anything intricate like buildings or dams or highways or train systems, all are fractured and destroyed very quickly. Maybe preparing people for the end is an interesting way to remind them that little things should not matter as much as they used to. Because it's not the worst thought experiment to playfully entertain the idea that there is only so much time left. Just today alone, around the world, thousands of people's lives came to an end. While I have been live streaming thousands all around the world, it's a giant planet. And I'm not consumed with thinking about death all the time, I assure you. And I do not mention death because I am fascinated by it, nor does it humor me. I find humor in my inability to process death, let's just say that. So if I make fun of death sarcastically, it is not with any other intention other than it's okay to consider things in a different way once in a while. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about social conditioning, societal programming, and the architects that get us to act and think and behave in order to make us a more predictable and docile population. Ultimately, you're right. You're absolutely right, Casey Jones. Every human, interestingly enough, does have a death drive. And I do not believe there's any one particular way to look at that subject. I think that you can look at that subject from multiple vantage points. When I consider the end of the world being a day and a half away, or I imagine it happening right now, it is only a reflection of what my nightmares have been like on occasion through my life as I have slept. I am not saying I experience these nightmares extensively. I'm saying sometimes they just come in flashes every few months. But they are powerful enough that they stick with you. The idea of being consumed by a massive avalanche, or a massive boulder, a massive wall, a massive building. That moment right before you know you're going to wink out, and then you say, ideally, it's quick, and you say, thank you for the quickness. What happens in the second after the light goes off, the quickness? I am fascinated by the subject only because I will be that individual who snaps off at some point. I will. And I have watched several people, prominent people, well-known people, lose their lives, succumb to a disease, get murdered in the news. And it makes me understand the ephemeral nature of life and existence all that much more. It makes me understand that my legs get sore when I sit down and philosophize for too long without lighting my candle, you know? I can hear thunder outside right now, and that excites me. I don't light another candle here. Hello, Travis Todd. Hello, thank you for tuning in. I was just talking about some very deep stuff, including the frailty of human life, the tragedy of a brief existence, but the beauty of being alive is the most beautiful gift we could possibly have. I've been thinking a lot of this week about social programming and societal architecture, and just thinking that music is the perfect remedy for a lot of society's problems. If not a remedy, at least something that soothes the problems. If not 5%, maybe 10%. I don't know. I like to think as I like music for so many reasons. So I like to pick up the bass once in a while, even though I know I usually do a brief presentation of my bass playing because I know it's not the most interesting. But I just like to change it up for my fingers a little bit. My fingers go crazy on the acoustic, and my fingertips start to get really sore because I don't have the best technique. Yeah. I'll try to sing along maybe. I hear the whisper. I hear the screams. I won't understand, but I know what it means. I get too high. I don't ever want to come down. Consider this my lesson learned. How long will I burn for your sins? I'll break it to you easy. You were wrong all along. So go on, get gone. can't play the bass for as long. My fingers get sore. I know, stop being such a baby about it. You're right. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. I'm a man on a mission. Consider subscribing. I'm playing in my kitchen. I have no budget. I have no management. I have no anything. I have a website, peterwayneburton.com. There is a song, one song from the album is on there. It's sort of a bluegrassy song. I play all the instruments. It's called Home. And, wow. It was an amazingly powerful thunderclap just after I said that. I don't know if you guys could hear that. But as soon as I said home, there was this, like, yes. Because it's I think it's a really fun song. But it's just one of my songs. It doesn't represent a style that I have. So I worry that people would listen to it, one, not like it, never listen to it again, that sucks. Two, sort of like it, but it's not really their thing. Three, ideally they like it, they might check it out again. Four, they really like it. Five, they listen to it over and over again. That is the scale that I'm looking at here. So there is one song on the website, peterwayneburton.com, and I think it's on my SoundCloud technically, but there's a link on the website. What, 6? Counting Crows are amazing. No, I cannot play that, unfortunately. I'm lazy, and I get copyrighted. Sorry, Travis. Todd. Hello, Casey Jones. What's 6? I'm not sure what you mean. That is the 1 through 5. I meant to, that's from like no reaction. The number 1 is they fucking hate it. Number 5 is they love it, listen to it over and over again. So the spectrum in between is just using 1 as the lowest grade, or 0 is probably the lowest. But what is 0? It's absence. So if 10 people listen to it, hopefully 2 people would really like it. And I think about that stuff all the time. I have no idea what my music is because I'm so close to it. I just have an idea that it might be enjoyable, but I won't know how, ever. Which is why I'm obsessed with playing all the time. And I hear the whispers, I hear the screams. I won't understand, but I know what it means. I get too high, I never want to come down. Consider this my lesson learned. How do I burn for your sins? I'll break it to you easy. You were all alone. So go on and get gone. That's very true. Increasingly, when playing, we want to sort of freehand and be creative, but the best songs are very simple and structured. And structure, in turn, makes creating a song easier. And that is true. And now that we have live streaming, I can put my practice sessions on the record, and sometimes the songs are written ahead of time, sometimes the songs are written in the moment, but all of them are only available on the stream. They are not on Spotify, they are not on CD, they only exist here. And that's the way I like it. I love it, in fact. YouTube is amazing. I'm very blessed and very fortunate to have this opportunity to do something that I truly enjoy. Truly enjoy. Yeah. I heard all of that, yes. The internet has barraged me with such information. And whenever I am barraged, I wonder if it's true or not. And I can honestly say that I don't know what is true or not anymore, because I have seen some wild things in my lifetime as an American individual in 2026. I have a hard time believing anything anymore. And I remember when CERN was being built. I remember when it was turned on. I remember being reported to that it is real and it is affecting things. But I am also aware it's another huge thunder crack. Holy cow. That is nuts. It's been such a crazy stream, I gotta say. I only imagined my streams would turn out this way in my dreams, really. So let me put it to you this way. If I were able to have a CERN type device within my chest cavity, a spinning atoms or particles going in opposite directions and smashing, and I had the ability to create a dimensional bubble around me in some capacity, because we're talking about wild particle physics stuff here, I would manifest the visions I've been having for a long time, because ultimately I want to believe that if the universe works the way that I think it can work, people can find love for themselves and each other again. And if that's a byproduct of particle physics, then so be it. But if there is no particle physics at all involved, it means we were lied to. And I've lived long enough to know that there are some things that most people believe that I don't believe at all. And some part of me thinks that they just don't have the information I have. Otherwise, how could they possibly think the way that they think? Interesting, very interesting. So CERN ultimately became the machine that would drive the single most important and transformative human invention called the internet, at least partially. It would use the internet to get organic organisms like me sitting down in his kitchen and staring at the rectangular light box in front of me and say, good human, sit there and just marinate in dopamine. If you're totally still but awake, you're more predictable. But if the machine saw us as chaotic, we would become worrisome to them. So I accept a certain amount of programming. I am a programmed human to think a certain way. And I will say that some programming is important and some programming is dangerous. Some programming is counterproductive and some programming is intentionally dulling to my capabilities. So I have heard about CERN, and I wonder if it's true. And I wonder how the power of suggestion is even stronger than any complicated scientific machine. The power of suggestion can get people to believe things that are very difficult to unbelieve, even if presented with evidence to the extreme contrary. So part of this mission of live streaming so much is to say that yes, I'm a musician. Yes, I have songs. I love the piano. I love the guitar. I love having songs that weave in and out of me singing the comments on the screen. But I think my brain sometimes jumps off a cliff hoping that there's like a nice close body of water, and then it's just caught in the oh no feeling of just like, imagine falling for just miles and miles and miles and miles. My brain gets caught in that panic mode. You love yogurt? I love yogurt too. Especially with granola and fruit. It's the perfect parfait. The meal I enjoy almost every day. It's easy to put together, no matter the weather or time of day. I love live streaming during a thunderstorm, I gotta say. I can hear the rain just coming down in sheets. High protein is right. Absolutely. It's good to try to eat good things. I am not always successful. Oh, let me tell you something. So, I'll probably play a little bit more guitar and then I may call it quits. I think it's good to not burn myself out by playing too long, but also the longer that I play, the better the algorithm likes me. And I'm trying to make the algorithm like me. And you guys can help the algorithm along and say, hey, see this guy that we're clicking on and watching? Hey, algorithm, let's take this Peter guy on a mission. He can either look directly at the camera or he can look off the camera. And I love both methodologies. Because whether I'm alone or with someone, you don't know if the camera just stays like this. So there could be someone sitting right here. And I could introduce you to them, or I could keep them a mystery to you. And I would get to ask them questions. And maybe they would ask me some questions. And that would be part of my musical journey on my live stream, is that I can play with both ideas. And that's a wonderful thing, to be able to look over there and say, yes, I totally agree with you. No. Cut it out. I have nothing to say to you. It takes a bit of imagination. Exactly. Am I talking about Snuffleupagus? Yes, but expanded upon. That concept is one itty bitty, whatever the heck that thing is. Looks like a vole elephant something or other. I don't know. I can't even remember. But imagine having, I think they probably messed around with a lot of different imaginary friends in the show. But I think it was almost a metaphorical allegory in a way. If that is twisting my ideas, then yes. The idea that the snuffleupagus, I think he couldn't be seen, right? And I thought that was somewhat analogous to like children and their own families sometimes. Woolly mammoth, yes. I could be wrong about that. But who I'm talking to are multiple snuffleupaguses. And as long as I direct my eye at one particular thing, like I'm looking them in the eye, you think I am talking to a whole room of snuffleupagi. Right? He's imaginary. They can't see him. And that was the saddest part of the whole show. I mean, honestly, that in Oscar the Grouch. It's been pointed out before, but of course he's going to be a grouch. He's living in a garbage can. It smells awful in there. His legs are going to get cramped. He would rather sit in like the rotting filth and dumpster juice than interact with everybody on the block. It was such an indictment of his company. I was always like, Oscar's the one guy I would want to hang out with. He seems like the kind of guy that would speak his mind, you know? And it sometimes can be off-putting to have somebody speak their mind, but it is also sometimes quite refreshing, especially if you're in the mood for it. I'm playing with the zipper on my pants. I'm not picking my butt. There was one last rolling thunder above me. And maybe it's the universe sending me a signal. Yes, Peter, I have many, many more miracles in store for you. Because I was only recently remarking on the fact that my darkness is a very convincing technique to get the light side of my brain to dim a bit. And it tells me the universe has already sent me all the miracles I need, and it is shrugging its shoulders and saying, it's balls in your court, Peter. So here I am, sitting in my kitchen. A man on a mission, having no idea what he's doing, but enjoying every minute of it. As I said, I probably won't play too much longer. This is around the point that my fingers start to just... and I kick myself, because I have really calloused fingertips. It's just that when I play for too long, they get sore, even if I have the calluses. So that shows you how bad my technique is. Good technique means you could play for a long time. So I think I was going to make some food and call it a night. After all that philosophical meandering through the dark crevasses of my mind, I think to myself, wouldn't it be sweet to fall asleep to the sound of rain? I think it would. So, have I read what? Probably not. I should be a much bigger reader than I am. Although you could argue I read tiny amounts at a time. So I do read, but not sit down and read like chapters of a book. And I know that that is a shortcoming of mine. I am very much aware of that. There is a long list of shortcomings. That's okay. There is also a list of good things. And I try to remember the good things, if you know what I mean. I've heard of that, simulacra and simulation. So, I feel 10% good about my answer. I have heard that, but I have not read it. I am afraid to read it The more I learn, the more I wish I didn't learn sometimes. You know what I'm saying? The more you find out that there could be really intricate and far-reaching historical fabrications, that it would confront my very ability to believe in my own species. It's where Simulacrum and Simulation is the book that Neo hides in the computer chips in the Matrix. Nice. What a wonderful Easter egg. Seems to have worked wonders. I like it. The Matrix is a fabulous movie. I enjoy it very, very much. I could watch it over and over again. The sequels hold a place in my heart. The most recent one, I forget even exists, and I prefer it that way. And that's okay. That's how art works. That's how life works. Some things are cut and dry, you know? So that's fascinating. Maybe this is a simulation. And maybe me just looking at myself in my phone is me looking directly into the tendrils of destiny, and hopefully they can converge many factors at once. I just didn't like the new one. Or maybe I need to rewatch it. I just didn't initially like it, and there is a chance I was in a bad mood when I watched it. So if I watched it again, there's a good chance I would start to like it more. Sometimes it happens that way, and I might do it because I compare too much, which is an easy thing to do. Yes, I agree. Now, I present to you the idea, and they did touch on this in the Animatrix, where they had animated shorts within the Matrix universe, if I remember correctly. And there were some really interesting ones, almost like 10-minute short stories from within the Matrix, that I think it would be interesting to have a trilogy prequel, a prequilogy, where the machines didn't just suddenly put humans into the gel-filled battery packs. That had to happen after struggle and experimentation. It had to struggle. The humans probably knew what was happening and had to run because the machines had started to harvest the technology to build their own humans without needing other humans anymore. So the battle to create the Matrix would be fascinating. Like a human comes back and sees that the machine city has stumbled onto something. It understands its energy is running out and sees humans as the perfect battery packs. So at first the machines want to snatch the humans, but then the machines don't like the fact that the humans are fighting back. So the machines figure out how to clone. And the machines figured out that, and I think they already have all of this stuff probably mapped out. But my basic point is that you could do a really interesting build-up to the original Matrix if done respectfully and interestingly, and had elements that made the Matrix so good, which is ultimately a hero's journey on repeat, which I'm cool with. I like hero's journeys on repeats, or repeat. So, yeah, I could talk about movies all night long. But I am going to bounce so I can make sure I rest, because I don't want to burn myself out. And I know that's garbage. Come on. You know what I like? Is when chickens keep their head perfectly still while their body moves. No matter what happens, their head stays in the same. That is so weird to me. Yes, I love the first Total Recall. That was impactful, I would say, as a movie. It was very disturbing. It was in the age for me where it was on a VHS tape. So you'd go to the store and you went home and you couldn't wait to watch this movie you had heard so much about. And it has these really crazy scenes in it that are extremely memorable. So upon rewatch, you liked it even more, in my opinion. And I loved the story, how big it was, how epic it was. At the end, when the rods go into the surface of Mars and immediately create oxygen. And everyone's like, oh, great, we have oxygen. Whew, it's like a really deserty Earth now. I would love to see what happens after that event happens. That would be pretty wild. Quado, right? And he had those arms and he had those mouths and he would go, Quaid. He had like his dangly lip. And it was obviously like rubberized, but they tried to make it look as real as possible. It was not CGI. And I gotta say, and most people would believe me, now that we've had years of CGI, there's been movies that did it really well. And there has been movies that have ruined CGI forever. We want real things, even if they are puppets. That's why Grogu is so popular, is because they make it a point to use him in a practical moment moving. I agree. And you can argue that there's several years where CGI and the old way of doing things crossed over. And those movies are wonderful too. Early CGI is mwah. Obviously, it takes away from the movie. But there is a part of me that appreciates that at that time, when they were making it, they were like, this is going to blow people away. And in some movies, it worked. I remember Terminator 2 had the Liquid Terminator reform. And at that time, I had never seen computer graphics work so well. It's true. It was the end of 90s handmade effects in movies into CGI. Yeah, and the Matrix, the Sentinels were all CGI. There was a lot of CGI in the Matrix. And it told me that ahead of time, how you use CGI is the important thing, not if you use it. Because I don't hate CGI. I just don't like if it's a whole character. It's essentially an animated movie that's not real. For some reason, and I know it's difficult to do prosthetics and do puppetry. It's more expensive. You have to get it right the first take. In CGI, you can spend days rewriting a scene. And they do, and they have done it, and it's worked great, but it has also worked horrendously, and we can all agree on that. So I should probably pull my brain. Ninja Turtles movies was peaked. Oh, Ninja Turtles. There you go. Yup. I would agree with that. I love, they had suits. They had the mouths. Where if you look closely, you can see that the actual person wearing the suit, you can see they're looking out through the neck. Yeah. Oh, Jim Henson? I think that was the guy. He was a weird dude. You got to admit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Ooh. Yes, indeed. That movie had a profound effect. I remember it. If I pull up these memories, a lot of the times they are good ones. Yeah, I remember being blown away by Roger Rabbit and really being like, what is going on here? No, they never will. You're right. Although now in the age of AI, we could ask it, take a very real looking movie and blend in bad CGI. And it probably could spit out 1,000 movies. Now, I'm just kidding. I don't want that. I'm not the kind of person that would initiate that. I don't think. Like if someone gave me the opportunity to work with an AI to do something, would I do it? Would I release the music I made? No. I would not. But does that mean I wouldn't have my own private stash? I can't. The amount of human labor it took is unrealistic nowadays. Yeah, you're right. So CGI took away humans working on set. Yet, the computer world is massive too. You look at the end credits of a lot of these huge like Marvel movies that were $200-300 million budgets. The credits roll for like minutes. Huge paragraphs of names. Obviously, they were working on bits and pieces of the movie. Like the process to make a movie is amazingly complicated. It's fascinating. So if you can boil down the human process to CGI, it still takes a lot of people, I suppose. But it's like the more people get sick, like Generation X is sick of CGI, the more we yearn for the real stuff. And maybe that's why certain movies have become so popular recently. Not just because of Gen X, I know. Maybe Gen X is irrelevant. I don't know. They are. Yeah, I agree. And if you pay attention to movies, you can pay attention to society because they operate in a similar way. In movies, your lens is directed at where your attention is supposed to go, on which character, on which object, for however long a period of time. Is it over someone's shoulder? Is it a close-up of a bug? Is it a shot of a lighthouse silently in the fog? And then cut to a guy cutting something on a cutting board on his boat, making a dinner. You know, a movie is taking the thinking out of life because you're following a story through actions and dialogue. And it's captivating. Society is similar in that what we are shown is the movie that we are living because they are defining the terms of reality by which we must obey or face the consequences. And it makes sense that it is important to be as eloquent as possible on large subjects like this. So I will state for the record that I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm also going to have victories. I'm a man on a mission sitting in his kitchen with a lot of ambition, but I have a condition of perpetual downward spiraling into the abyss of self-doubt. Oh yeah, Jack Black King Kong movie. I think I like that one too. Jack Black is crazy. He's sort of like in a league of his own. Eating chinga frickin' lickin'. Yes, I remember that. Oh, brings back memories. So many memories. I gotta tie up this mop. Or should I see what my hair looks like when it's not all slicked back? Like I have a lion's mane or something. I've never had long hair before. And to tell you the truth, I can't decide if I absolutely hate it or I love it. Because I want to shave it all off and have like a super tight haircut. But I also like having somewhat of a visual rebellion that generally to grow your hair long is in opposition to like some kind of social construct. But at the same time, the truth of the matter is I have long hair because I am broke much of the time. And I don't want to shell out money for a haircut. And it's as simple as that. So if there's any message that I'm sending, it's that I'm cheap, but I'm also not great with money, making it nor managing it. And I would very much like to experience the opportunity, should it present itself, to be a professional musician almost like giving me a grant or investing in a stock market. That's the theme of this week. Because I got plans, you see. I got things that I gotta do. I got things that I want to experience. So I'm gonna hop off. I keep saying that and I keep going. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I'm trying to balance out, like, keeping my brain sane, not thinking about streaming so much. Because it's the music that I love, but it's also the talking. I don't feel exhausting when I'm sitting here talking in my kitchen. If that makes any sense. I think what I am paralyzed with fear about is becoming an annoyance to another human being. Yeah, and that's probably the core of my existence. I mean, when I think about it, times in my past I have felt like they don't want me around. I can tell by their behavior. And then I get ultimately very sensitive about it. And I'm like, fine, I won't be around then. So I make up stuff in my head. But then while I'm not around people, I do stuff like this and sit down and work on music and talk. So it feels wonderful, but it also feels like a fool's journey. Sometimes you feel like a hero. Sometimes you feel like a zero. And I'm just going to keep going no matter what. So have a good night. I will see you real soon. This has been wonderful, but now I'm on my